Really great addition to any 24 scale car. Really well done. Hello, this is BJ from Hearns Hobbies, and I'm going to be having a look at this Hasegawa kit. This is one of the figure series, and it's of the Paddock Girls in 1 to 24 scale. Now, Paddock Girls are probably better known as grid girls to us, or even in Japan, they're also known as race queens. So let's see what this is about. Now let's look at the box art. Okay, so here's a little photo of the actual models and the size of the hands, so you can get an impression of how big 1 to 24 scale is. There's a lot of 24 scale cars available to build, and these will add to them, give us some sense of scale, and also help you make a diorama. Now 24 scale is 75 millimeter, and actually on the side you probably get a better idea of the finished product as well. These do paint up into some very nice figures. And these were actually designed by Satoshi Sujimura, who's a very good figure sculptor. He's done quite a lot of the figures for Hasegawa. And just look at the faces, they're really quite good. Okay, there we go. All right, let's open it up and see what we get. Now, being two figures, there's not going to be a lot to it, because you don't see a lot of parts needed for two figures of this scale. But here we go, we've got a bag of parts with two sprue. And you can see how this is a newer style sprue. They've got these big chunky areas here, which are molded to protect the model from getting crushed. Also have an umbrella, which is helpful. We've got the umbrella shaft, and then we've got the heads as well, and then the arms actually on a separate sprue. So let me zoom in, and I'm going to concentrate on the faces as I normally do with figures of this sort of size. Let's zoom in as far as we can. How's that? Right, so there's one face. Try and get the shadows so you can see the natural shape of it. I mean, that's pretty spectacular for an injected molded plastic. Proportions are very, very good. And has really good realism. You can see the eyes as well. Eyes are some of the most important parts of a figure to make it look lifelike. Okay, so that's one of the figures. Now let's move over to the other one. You can see the very pronounced smile. Really well done. And particularly clever the way that these figures are put together as well. There's been a lot of thought in the design of the sprue so that when you glue them together, there's not too much gap. Okay, so here we go. So you see how the faces have been molded separately, and then you have the hair. So there'll be a front fringe part as well, which will just wrap around the face. But by gluing the face in like this, you can maintain maximum detail in the face, and then also just having the finish off below the chin there, it'll be easy enough to fill that out. You see the rest of the proportion. You see that the skirt and the treatment of the fabrics is really well done. You see the pleats there. And then it's flat on the bottom, so it's very easy to glue the other leg. And then you see that the cutout for this leg here is just above where the boot's going to be. So that's a natural parting line anyway, as you can see from the boot there. So the molds are also very, very clean. So where you normally see a dirty mold line down here, it's quite fine, so that'll be really easy to scrape off and sand. And here's another leg here. So there's a full leg on the other side. And your details in the folds of the boot as well. Now on this side you'll see that's the front fringe part of the hair that will border the face. Adds another bit of natural detail. Now if we look at the back of the figure, again you can see the pleats on the skirt and the hair. See how the hair's been done very well. Really very well done. Now let's look on the other figure. Okay, so here's the other figure. Again, you see how the face is quite separate. And then you've got the rest of the body, skirt, and again, they've done the leg in the same sort of action. So flat section up here to the skirt, and then cut off for where the boot's going to be. You can see there. There's a boot by itself. And then on this side, you can see where we're going. There we go, the full leg. There's a detail on the umbrella. You can see the umbrella here as I flip it around. It's got all the internal framework as well. And then here's the shaft of the umbrella. Okay, so let's look at the final sprue. Might as well keep it zoomed in here. And we've got the arms. Okay, so it's bent at the elbow. You can see how the fingers are quite nicely formed as well. And there you go. So that's a pretty basic kit, I guess. And then we have some decals as well. So they've included decals used as sponsorship, and they've done Hasegawa Racing as they would. So you can use these as a generic style sponsorship, or you can just create your own decals, or even some kits will come with additional decals you can use for branding the tops. So you've got black and white here to choose from. And then also giving you eye decals as well, in case you're not very confident with painting eyes. It's a great touch. Okay, let's look at the manual. It's going to be really basic. All right, so here we go. Let's zoom that out a bit. We've got a legend of all the parts. So we've got the 2 sprue. We've got a paint guide here. Although with figures, you can pretty much paint them anything you like. And then that's pretty much it in the assembly instructions. So there's Paddock Girl A and Paddock Girl B. So B being the one with the umbrella. And she has her hands close together for holding the big brolly. And then this figure here has her finger up and a hand on the hip. And that's it. It's only single-sided. Alright, so there you go. That is my open box review of the Hasegawa Paddock Girls in 24 scale. Really great addition to any 24 scale car, even making dioramas and like a little race scene on the grid. Even say, it'll fit really well with Japanese domestic market cars, those hodded up ones. So like at auto salon, you'll see a lot of girls dressed like this. So there we go. Hasegawa's 124 scale Paddock Girls with 2 figures in the kit, plastic injection molded. So if you like this review, please give me a like below. And if you'd like to see more content like this, please think about subscribing. Thank you very much.